Hello, and welcome to Marketplace with Charles, brought to you by Art of Skincare. Art of Skincare, the company that brings out the beauty in you. I am Charles Ngobeni. On Marketplace, we aim to empower, encourage, and equip you with the right tools that you need to move closer to you achieving your entrepreneurial dreams. Each week, we bring you insights from experts in different fields of business, from men and women of faith, but also from ordinary people from all walks of life. Today, we explore the subject of resource allocation. I introduce you to an inspirational speaker, an author, and a business consultant. As an inspirational speaker, he is sure to get you thinking about issues that matter in life and in business today. Welcome, Trevor Kamoto, with me in your home today. Running a business requires a lot more than exchanging with the goods and services that the business is involved in. Knowledge and information are crucial in running such a successful business. Part of the knowledge that is required calls for a discipline to implement the knowledge that one has. If you have got knowledge and you can't implement it, then it becomes useless. Lack of discipline will result in the business failing to show the proper growth that is supposed to experience, or that growth could be hampered. My guests will discuss deeper into what we should look out for to prevent unnecessary failure in the life of your business. Trevor, welcome to Marketplace.
Thank you very much, sir. It's a pleasure being here.
In fact, it's also my pleasure for having you.
Yes, thank you very much.
You know, in a show like this, you don't need ordinary people.
Yes.
We need experts.
So I'm very, I'm very honored to be here today. Thank you very much for inviting me.
You are just one such an expert that we need in a show like this.
Thank you.
Do you mind to tell our viewers a little bit about yourself, your background?
Okay. Like you already said, that my name is Trevor Kamoto. Mm-hmm. I'm an inspirational speaker and author, as well as a business consultant. So my line of work basically entails helping small businesses grow, as well as maximizing their profits and all those things from a sales optimization perspective. So that is what I do on a daily basis. But then again, I'm also an inspirational speaker as well as an author. So what I mainly speak about as an inspirational speaker is inspiring everyone that greatness lies within each and every one of us, just waiting to be discovered. So that is basically what I speak about mostly when I inspire, and that is precisely who I am. So Trevor is from the East Rand of Johannesburg. I grew up in Johannesburg, and I'm still a resident of Johannesburg. And yeah, that's pretty much who I am.
Now that's great.
Thank you.
It sounds like your hands are full.
Yeah, it gets busy from time to time.
Let me just shoot straight away, and because I realize you have got a lot to say. Can you just explain to the viewers?
Yeah.
And to me?
Yes, sir.
What are resources? And also taking it in the business environment.
Yeah.
What do you mean by the term or the word resources?
Well, resources are things that you have at your disposal to use. So you can actually cite them as your capital. Resources are precisely what you have to achieve whatever it is you want to achieve. So whether it be money, time, or networks, or all those things, those are basically what your resources are. Those are the things you have to work with to achieve whatever goals you plan or want to achieve.
Will you say there's any difference between the personal, or what I say, the individual resources to the business resources?
Not entirely. There's a cross section between the two. I think they interrelate with one another, because if you can check in the personal perspective, the resources that you have, precisely maybe your time, your money, as well as all the other things. But now in business as well, that's pretty much the same resources that are there, because a business also needs to spend some money. A business also needs to get time and energy in order to achieve the business goals. So those resources that can be allocated in the business space as well as in the personal space can be more or less in the same thing. So we can sometimes even think of your business as an individual, as well as the business, the resources that are at your business's disposal.
And we all have got all these resources, I suppose.
Yes, that is very correct. So we all have resources at our disposal.
And there's no one out there who will say, no, I don't have the resource.
Not exactly. There's nobody who can actually make that claim, although you will get those people, but it's a matter of perspective and how you view things. Because you may think that you don't have any resources at your disposal, but if you have time and how you allocate that time, you are unaware that that is actually a resource that is being allocated.
In fact, the Bible puts it clear. It says time and chance.
Yes, yes. Are given to everybody.
To them all.
Yes, that's correct.
In other words, we all have got the same 24 hours in a day. And yet there are others who use these 24 hours more profitable than others.
That is so true. Because no one has 32 hours or 36 hours in a day. Like you mentioned, we all have the same 24 hours. So the difference in individuals lies in how they allocate their resources, because that is in essence what determines the outputs of certain individuals' lives.
You know, the other time I was seated at home relaxing.
Yeah.
And I love clean stuff.
Yes.
So as I was relaxing at home, I saw a spider hanging at the corner.
Yeah.
In a spider web, waiting for a catch.
Yeah.
Nicely relaxing.
Yeah.
I wanted to kill it.
Didn't you?
I mean, what does a spider want inside my house?
Inside your house that's supposed to be clean.
Yes. I wanted to kill it.
Yeah.
But I remember when we grew up, you know, years back.
Yeah.
There was a poem which says, it's talking about God being a creator.
Yes.
All things bright and beautiful.
Yes.
All creatures great and small.
Including spiders.
For the Lord God created them all.
Yes.
And I said, wow, I can't destroy this.
Yeah.
But the best I can do, instead of killing it, I'll just wipe it clean.
Yes.
And so I did. But guess what?
Yeah.
Less than 5 minutes, literally less than 5 minutes, on a different corner, which was clean before,
Yeah.
there was a new spider web and a spider hanging in there.
Wow.
Waiting for a catch.
Wow.
Then I realized that this spider did not go out of my house
Yeah.
for material to rebuild its life.
Yes.
It did not go out of my house for resources to rebuild its life. But all the resources that it ever needed,
Yes.
it was within itself. It just secreted them.
Yes. That's true.
Tell me, in terms of, should I say, resource allocation,
Yeah.
why do you think it's so important?
Well, I think it's important because as individuals in life, we all aspire towards different things. We all aspire towards different goals, towards different ambitions and outcomes in our lives. But now the successful realization or the achievement of those goals particularly lies in the daily habits that we adopt. And now when you break down those daily habits, in a sense, you actually realize that it all comes down to resource allocation. At a question of how do you spend your time? How do you spend your money? How do you spend your energy? Because in essence, the manner in which you allocate all those things will determine the outcome of your life as to whether you do achieve the goals you want to achieve or you do not. So that's why it's important to take stock and to analyze how you are allocating your resources.
And I like the way that you have used your daily habits.
Yes.
Do you want to elaborate on that? You know, because if you say daily habit,
Yeah.
it means it's something which you're doing on a daily basis.
That's correct. For example, how you allocate your time is very important. For example, let's bring it in the business space. Say, for example, you want to start a business or you're already running a business of some sort. But the manner in which you allocate your time is not conducive to the growth or the success of your business. So in a sense, you are allocating that resource very incorrectly, because you could be able to use that resource in order to grow your business, to grow expertise for your business. But if you are allocating it in the wrong manner, then your business will end up not being a success. You see, so that's how it's actually very important, because it goes down to how you spend that time each and every day. What do you do with the hours that you have at your disposal?
So it boils down to the discipline.
Yes, correct. It's discipline.
And what will you say are the consequences of failing to acquire or implement this discipline?
Because if there's no discipline, then honestly speaking, the people perish. Okay. Because if you fail to discipline yourself in order to meet out whatever goals you have for yourself, then you will end up never achieving any of them. And that is the main consequence of it all, because if you do not achieve whatever you want to achieve, chances are you will run a life that is unfulfilled. And nobody wants that, because at the end of the day, we all want to achieve certain things. We all want to achieve particular things in life. But if you fail to discipline yourself in that regard, then the consequences are simply you not achieving all the dreams and goals that you have.
So you might be having a huge dream. But without discipline, you may not attain it.
That's correct. If you'll allow me, I'll steal from Dr. Miles Monroe when he once mentioned something very powerful. He said that the cemetery is the most expensive place on earth, because that is where you have dreams that are not realized. You have books that are not written. You have songs that were never sung, because chances are the people that lay in those cemeteries had resources at their disposal, but they never allocated them correctly. And then you find that there were certain things that were inside of them that they were supposed to deliver to this world. Because remember, it's important to understand that each and every one of us have purpose. We all have a unique reason why we are here on this earth. But if we fail to allocate our resources correctly, chances are we will not deliver on whatever it is we were sent to do here on earth.
Are you going to die with a dream inside of you? Will you allow yourself to go down the grave with that huge business inside of you? Will you allow yourself to go down with that book, with that song that needed to be sung? Whilst you're still thinking on that, I'll be taking a glass of water and I'll be back shortly. Welcome back to Marketplace with Charles. I am your host, Charles Ngobeni, and I am sitting here with my guest, Trevor.
Yes, sir.
Trevor, an inspirational speaker or motivational speaker.
Yes.
And author.
Yes, sir.
You're everything.
Not entirely, but most things.
Yeah, most things.
Yes.
Yeah, good. Can you outline the resources that we need in your program?
Yeah. I think generally time has to be the most important one. That will be the first one.
Yeah.
Time is a very important resource. And the second one would have to be money, because the world literally operates around and through it. So it's also a very important resource. And then energy has to be the last one.
Is time?
Money, as well as energy.
As energy.
Yes.
But how is money a resource? How do you define money as a resource?
Because in the current world that we live in, we basically need to spend for everything and anything that we need. So particularly, say, for example, you want to start your business, you will need capital, and that capital is money to buy whatever stock that you will need to be selling, or to perhaps buy whatever equipment you will need to offer a particular service. So that, in essence, is also a resource, because without that particular resource, chances are you'll be unable to start your business.
Someone doesn't have money.
Yeah.
Does that mean that person is doomed to fail?
Not exactly. I think if we are to be fair and honest about it, each and every person has money. It's just that we choose to think that some people do not have money. Because if you can look at it from an entrepreneurial perspective, for example, you get people with business ideas and they tell you that I don't have money to start the idea, or I don't have money to start the business that I want to pursue. But if we go down again to the daily spending habits, you will realize that there are certain things that money is spent on every day by those people, that if you look at it from a monthly perspective, from an annual perspective, they actually would end up having that money to invest into their business. But because they have that entrenched mentality that the money is not there, then they end up thinking that the money really isn't there.
So it's just a mentality.
It's just a mentality. It's how you think. It's generally how you think.
In fact, who said it has to be your money? Because you can also borrow some.
Yes.
Or someone can give you some money.
Yes, as an investment into your business.
And in fact, what I've realized in life is that if your business idea is so great and so powerful, in such a way that it will make billions, if not trillions of rands, you'll get a lot of investors who would like to fund you.
That's correct. That's true, because generally there are tons and tons of people out there who are looking for good ideas to support or good businesses to fund. And if, like you say, if you do have a good business idea, chances are there's somebody who's waiting there to fund your business.
You know, the other time I wanted to buy a taxi. And start a taxi business.
Wow. Okay.
And I had no money. But a friend of mine had a car. Which was fully paid for. You know what we did? We drove to the nearest garage. And this friend of mine wanted me to help him fix his car. So we drove to the nearest garage. As he was buying parts to repair his car, I was just sitting and relaxing. And I asked the salesman there, who's the owner of the garage? And he showed me, it's Meneer van Tonder. And I said, is it possible for me to speak to Meneer van Tonder? He said, yeah, no problem. Then he called him for me. And I asked him, I said, Meneer van Tonder, I like that VW Kumbe, which is there. And I'm talking about 26 years back. So I said to him, if I were to buy it, how much deposit do you need? He said, no. The value is what was 34,000 rand. You give me 10,000 rand deposit. I am happy you can have it. Wow. He needed a resource. 10,000 rand. Did I have it?
No.
And I said, but Meneer van Tonder, I've got a car outside. Which was not even mine, for your information. I said to him, look, I've got that Ford Leisure. If I were to trade it in, how much will you give me? He said 14,000. I said, no, brilliant.
It
14,000. Then it's more than the 10,000 that we need. But here's the problem. It wasn't my car.
It's not your car.
Then I asked him the next question, Mr. Van Tonder, if I were to buy back the very same car, the Ford Leisure that would have traded it in, before you even wash it, how much Will you want for it another? How much deposit?
Yes.
So no, simply because I wouldn't have done anything to it.
Yes.
I'll sell it back to you at the same 14,000 rand. But I'll need 4,000 deposit.
Okay.
So bingo. Then I spoke to a friend of mine. Here comes a question. Does it have to be your money?
Yeah.
If you say you don't have money.
You see.
I spoke to the friend of mine and we agreed.
Yes.
He traded his car for 14,000 rand to buy a brand new Kumbi at a 10,000 rand deposit. We were left with 4,000 rand balance. I took the 4,000 rand. All I needed was my salary advice and my South African ID.
To pay deposit.
Then I used that, the balance of 4,000 rand from the very same car to buy back his car.
Yes.
And then he drove his brand new Kumbi. I drove the Ford Leisure, which was in my names. And the first robot that was stopped, we swapped.
Yeah.
I took my Kumbi.
He took his car.
He took his Ford Leisure. The only challenge was that now I had 2 installments to pay. Which was also good, but I worked very hard and paid back his car.
Yes.
Before he started toying and say, pay back the money.
Yes. You see, like I'm saying, it all goes back down to mentality. Because if you were lazy in your thinking, you would have sat there and said, you can't afford the Kumbi, and just went back home with nothing in your hands. But it went down to mentality. You see, the problem is when we are faced with certain challenges, the question to ask is what goes on in your mind? Do you say to yourself, I can't do it? Or do you ask, how can I do it? Because if you begin to ask yourself, how can you do it? Your mind and your brain begins to work in connection in order to come up with the solution. But when you say, I can't do it, you've switched everything off and you go back home empty-handed. So it goes back down to mentality.
On that note, going back to mentality, I'm going for a break. See you shortly.
God bless you. This is Apostle Abraham. I want you to seriously consider studying the Word of God. I have seen what it does in people's lives, and I want to make that invitation to you. We believe that we are the only free lecture student Bible school in the world. Fully correspondence and enabling you to receive your PhD from the United States of America at Lighthouse Seminary. When God calls you, He's going to call you through His Word. Make a decision today to study the Word of God. Contact us today because God is calling you to train you, equip you, activate, and release you into His kingdom. God bless you.
Welcome back to Marketplace with Charles. What can you tell the viewers there about money as an enabler?
Yeah. I think just as I mentioned before, that we live in a world where money basically controls most things. Because in order to have anything or in order to acquire certain things, we need money. So
although we've said it doesn't have to be your own money.
Yes, although it doesn't have to be your own money.
But it is the best if it's your own money.
Yes, it's even better if it's your own money because you don't owe anybody after that. So how money works as an, how it works as an enabler. It makes it possible to achieve whatever goals we want to achieve. In a personal perspective, it makes it possible for you to buy whatever you feel will make your life more comfortable. But in a business perspective, it makes it possible for you to invest in your business in order to perhaps grow the business or to achieve whatever business goals you have. So it really goes a very long way in ensuring that you achieve whatever personal or business goals you may have.
In your own words, you are saying you need to spend money in order to make money.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yes, that is very correct because like you said that you can't sow money and reap apples because you reap exactly after the kind of that which you have sown. So when we say that in order to spend money or in order to make money, you need to spend money. You need to spend on whatever you feel will give you the greater return in the long run. Because remember that whenever you spend money on anything, it is an investment. And what is an investment? An investment is something that you trade in or something you put in the current in order to reap something in future that you think might be of greater return or greater value than at that point in time. So when we say that you need to spend money in order to make money, it means exactly that. You are investing in whatever idea that you have in the hope that it will multiply and give you a greater return at a future point in time.
For the viewer's success, are there any steps that they can consider
Yeah.
if they need to be successful in their business?
There's a couple. Like we mentioned first, that discipline is everything.
Yeah.
Discipline is everything, because whatever goal you have, whatever dream you have, if you're not going to be disciplined enough to follow through on the daily habits, then the bigger picture is lost.
So step one will be discipline.
Yes, discipline. And at the same time, your thoughts, your mentality, where is your mind at? Because if your mind is at a negative frequency or at a negative dimension, it cannot achieve anything positive. So that's where it's important as to what do you consume, what books do you read, what television programs do you watch, and all those things. Who do you spend your time with? Because all those things are literally investing into you, you see, and largely whatever it is you consume, you become a product of. So if you consume incorrect information, negative information, then you cannot produce a positive person in a nutshell. So how you think about everything and anything around you is also very important.
The circles of your friends, friends that you keep, the people that surround you, determine who you will be in future. Let your circle of friends speak into your life. Allow them to speak into your life. And if you realize that you are the only person who's talking into their life, but they don't talk anything to you, maybe it's time for you to consider changing your circle of friends. For you are never greater than the circle of friends you keep. You are never greater than the types of books you read. You are never greater than the type of shows you watch. And on that note,
That's great.
Trevor,
Yes, sir.
on your closing remarks,
Yes.
if people need to get hold of you,
Yes.
where do they get hold of Trevor?
They can get a hold of me on Facebook. I've got a page, Trevor Kamoto, I Speak Greatness. And
I love that. I speak greatness.
Yes, I Speak Greatness. That is my signature. So they can get a hold of me there, and then, I pretty much respond very soon. So, they can get a hold of me on that social network platform.
And I am Charles Ngobeni, signing off on Marketplace with Charles Ngobeni. You can get hold of me on www.charlesngobeni.com or on Instagram, Charles_Ngobeni. Or you may also follow me or like me on Facebook, Charles Ngobeni. Marketplace with Charles. Fighting poverty, creating kingdom billionaires. See you next time.